Hey, hello, good morning, boys and girls. This video is about the first activity. If you don't remember, the first task that I wanted you to do was page 32, 33, 34, and 35. So, this is how we are going to work with this video, guiding you through all the activities from the homeworks. And with that, you have to check your answers because I'm going to tell you the correct answers. Okay, so let's go ahead. Page 32 starts with grammar, quantifiers. Number one, look at the block and complete the sentences. Then read the rule and complete the table with a lot of, a little, all, several, and none. Remember the block that it was about a little boy that have has a father, a really funny father, that he used to say goodbye and receiving with a custom when the little boy used to back home. Do you remember? Do you remember the customs? I do. It was a chef, a Viking, a football player. I think it was the Chargers, and Batman and Robin. Okay, so let's go. These sentences, you can find it in that block. So, number one, like many proud parents, that's number one. Number two, he could hear all of his classmates laughing at something. Number three, he got lots, the customs from the family's own family collection. Number four, there were several friends and neighbors happy to help. Number five, uh, some of Rain's friends didn't find it funny, but most of them looked forward to it. Number six, he's looking forward to getting little more sleep each morning. So let's check the rule about how to use the quantifiers from 0% to 100%. It says rule quantifiers are words and expressions that we use to talk about an amount. Okay, so number one, which one? It's 0%. I refresh you. None. None equals zero equals nothing. Okay, so none, hardly, hardly any. Sorry, a few. Then we have number two. It says, which one do you think it goes? In middle of a few and not many. In English, there are a lot of ways to represent an special amount. So number two is I'll eat a little, and then it goes not many, much, a small number of some, and then we have three, several, four, lots, and then we have lots of, plenty or plenty, much, many, a good deal of, most, or almost all, the vast majority of, and then the number five. Which one do you think it is? 100% it equals to all. Okay, so those are the quantifiers from 0% to 100. You choose which one of them fits according to amount. A certain amount of laughings, I don't know, readings, people. Okay, so let's go. Number two, choose the correct options. In number one, We have I've got a few or a lot of followers on my blog more than 200. Number 2, I spent a lot of or hardly any time with my friends. We meet up every day after school and most weekends too. 3, I spent most hardly any of my time on my tablet. Is the most important thing I have. 4, a small number. Most of my teachers are really nice. I really like this school. Most all of my family lives near me, but I have an uncle who lives in Australia. Number 6. I spend most all or hardly any of my money on downloads. I don't really care about music. So, I'm going to tell you. 1. You had to choose a lot of. Number 2. The same, a lot of. Number 3. Most. So, so it is 4. Most. As well as 5. Most again. And then in 6. Hardly any. Now, we have to go to the number 3, speaking. Discuss the sentences in exercise 2 in pairs. Which of them are true for you? Okay, so discuss the sentences in exercise 2, the previous that we did. Which one of them are true for you? Okay, now in the comments, you are going to say which one are true for you. For example, in the comments, you can write, or you can type, number 1, it's true for me. Like for example, you have a lot of followers on your blog. I don't know, Instagram, Twitter. I don't know. What about Facebook? I don't know. Somebody still having MySpace? Okay, so you can tell me which ones are true for you. Okay, now in the vocabulary section we have customs and uniforms. It says number 1, look back at the photos of Dale. Which one of these things can you see? Write the letter of the photos next to the words. There are 2 things that aren't in the photos. Check their meaning. So, do you see? Do you remember a sword and a shield? I bet you do. Is in the picture C. Okay, that's something that back in the time a Viking used to use when he used to fight. Okay, now a leather jacket. Is any of those pictures from Dale is wearing a leather jacket? No, no, he's not. There are not any. There are there are not leather jackets in the pictures. Now we have a wig. What do you think a wig is? I think like the people that do cosplay or dress up as any character with fictionary people, persons, characters, cartoons. They use hair with different types of color. So, because they don't want to paint to dry their hair, they use a wig. Okay? So, now, is there any wig in the pictures? No, there is not. Okay? Now, what about a belt? Can't you see a belt? Yeah, is in picture D. Now, sunglasses. Can you see sunglasses? Any sunglasses? I bet you do. Is in the letter B. The B. is where the father is wearing the football jersey 47, number 47 of the Chargers. Okay, now can you see any helmet? Yes, it's in the same picture of the sunglasses. The helmet, it's really necessary in football because they smash each other. So that's for taking care of their health, but still they get some brain damage. Anyway, a cape. Do you see any cape? Yeah, it's in picture D, where Batman and Robin are. And now a mask. Can you see a mask? Don't worry, a mask can be for full face or just the eyes, like the Venice, Italy uh, customs. Okay. Now, an apron. Can you see an apron? It's in letter A. Can you see what it's an apron? It's what the chef use to don't get dirty or avoid the stains. Sorry. And now football jersey. I already said it is with the letter B with Vale picture. Okay. So now let's go and move on. It says number 2. Look at the photos. Who's wearing a costume? Who's wearing a uniform? Who is wearing an uniform? Okay, so A. What do you think the football soccer player is wearing? What do you think? What do you think it is? Is that a uniform or a custom? Tell me. It's a custom too, because it's about a football player's a soccer player. So it's also a name for it. And now the uniforms is B and C. Okay. Let's see. Now we are having this number 3 speaking part. In this number 3 speaking part, it says discussing pairs. Do you or does anybody you know wear a uniform? If you do, describe it. So, for example, do you use an uniform when you go to school? Do I wear a uniform? Yeah, we do. Okay. So now we have the second question. What are 5 jobs in which people wear uniforms? Do you know? Yeah, I think you do. Lots. Um, let's see. For example, the it's a kit. A kit or what the soccer player is using. And then the little boy, what is he wearing? Is he wearing a uniform or a costume? That's a costume because he's playing that he's a policeman. And then the policeman, the real policeman, is wearing a uniform. Okay, so I think in there are 2 examples: the soccer player wearing a kit and a policeman wearing his uniform, the police uniform. And number 3, describe a great costume to wear to a custom party. For example, from 5 or 6, almost 10 years, I've always wanted to dress to costume, to make a cosplay like a video game. I have plenty. I have 3. The first one, somebody have played Dead Dead Space. That's a video game of supposed to be horror. and I would like to dress up as that uh, gear. Also, from Halo Reach, from Carter, noble leader, I always wanted to dress up as a Spartan. And the last but not least, as Assassin's Creed 2, like Ezio Auditore da Firenze. That's a really nice costume that I would like to dress up in a costume party. And I hope one day, this year is is impossible to have like a custom party, I think. I hope I'm wrong. Anyway, describe a great costume to wear to a custom party. I already told you mine. Which ones are yours? Please, all the questions that I am asking, like for example, in grammar 3, speaking, and in vocabulary 3, speaking to, you have to comment on your on the comments what you did time ago. What did you wrote? Sorry, what did you read? Right. Oh my god. Now, let's go with the listening. Here we have one, two, three, four, five pictures. Which one? Okay, we have one. We can see a little boy having dinner, a beautiful dinner like pasta, with I think his grandfather. In the next one, I see two boys fighting. I don't know. The right picture from above, we can see a little girl eating something, and I think he's enjoying it. And then picture next to it, we can see a whole family, a big family, having a reunion. Something that we cannot do now, but Godspeed to be in the near future. I really miss that. Now, the last one. I can see a bunch of kids. I can see children playing something. It's volleyball. So, in the listening, you have to listen and match the names of the places with the pictures. There is one extra. We have France, Poland, Britain, Japan, Polynesian islands, and Argentina. So, please, what do you think you are going to listen? What it has in common the countries with those pictures. So please listen carefully. I'm going to play only one time the audio because you can repeat the video as much as you want, as much time that you need. Okay? So 3, 2, 1. Okay, so could you realize what is the point of that interview? There is a lady interviewing um, a woman that she tried to show parenting in different countries. So, what do you find out about France? What do they used to? What do they do about parenting? Which one could you listen? Because parents from France, um, they introduce a lot of a wide variety of food for the kid because in the future they may decide which ones are the ones that they like, but they must try it at least. Now tell me, did you hear something about Poland? What do Poland people do? They they let the children play together. Keep it in the family. What country keeps everything with the family? They are really close. Did you hear what country it is? It is the Polynesian islands. And now, no time for bedtime. What country did you listen that they let the children be awake at 11 or almost midnight, even having dinner really late with their family? Argentina. And now, what country the lady found out that they let the boys and girls to solve their own problems, and if they get physical, now they interfere. But if there are no physical contact, what country let the children solve their own problems? Did you listen? If you're not, I will give it to you. The country that let solve their own problems is Japan. Okay, you can listen once again. You can repeat the video and listen again for the next activity. And the next activity, number 2 from the listening, says that you have to listen again and choose the correct answers. Number 1. Why do many parents feel guilty about the way they bring up their children? Bring up. Bring up, it's to educate. Okay? So, what do they feel? How do they feel according to the audio? Now it's time for you to repeat the audio like 5 minutes ago. Okay, I hope you did it. And now continue. I hope you had your answers already. If you're not, please do it. Pause the video and do it. Okay, you had 30 seconds. So now let's continue. I hope you pause it and then you answer according the video, the audio in the video. So, number 1 is Z. Why do parents feel guilty about the way they bring up their children? They don't always do what they think they should do. Number two, what did Dr. Keating notice about Argentina children? I hope you did it. And the number two is C. They begin developing social skills when they are very young. Actually, we can discuss this later, and you are going to. Number three, why does Dr. Keating feel French children are better eaters? Do you remember what did she say about the children in France? I told you. They allowed the kids eat everything, and they must eat everything at least one time to know what they really like, not only by appearances. They made this like a food uh, meal. They have to try it at least once. So, number three is A. Their parents encourage them to try all sorts of food. Number four, what surprised Dr. Keating in the Japanese school? I think you remember. I told you and you listened at it. And I hope you listen twice the audio. If you don't believe me, you can prove it. And then we can change the answers. But I bet that the answer is B. Number four is B. The teacher was happy to let the children argue in class because with that they could solve their own problems. Now, what does Dr. Keating feel is the most important thing we can learn from bringing up babies? Bringing up babies is a book from Dr. Keating. So, what do you think? Because at the end, the lady asks something, and then Dr. Keating, refuses completely because she was not trying to say what is the correct way for parents to bring up their children, their kids. It's just for helping them to realize how other countries do, and with that, they may take into consideration how to educate, to bring up their children. So, with that, letter Z is for 5. That bringing up children isn't easy. Okay, now think self-esteem. So, developing independence. Number 1. Read each sentence and choose a number from 1 to 5. I strongly agree. For 1 to 5, I strongly disagree. Remember, this one you must write in the comments what you wrote in your homeworks because I want you to practice your writing skills. And with that, I see your ways to think about number 1. Teenagers should set their own bedtimes. Really quick, I would say in the Mexican culture, I would say I strongly disagree because they are going to arrive and as a teacher and working with 10, 10, 11 and 12 years old kids, they arrive to classes horribly tired because they were playing video games, because they were playing Grand Theft Auto. Can you imagine kids playing that? Oh my god, so that's why they are aggressive because they don't sleep well and then they don't eat well because they are sleepy in the morning, and they go to school in a really bad mood. From a teacher perspective, it's not good. I strongly disagree. Now, number two, teenagers should have a part-time job to earn their own spending money. What do you think? Do you think teenagers should work for their own spending money, for the money to spend for themselves? What do you think? That's kind of hard, but that educates them really good, sort of way. And I go for three, like medium, like not completely and not completely agree. So now number three, teenagers should choose what they eat. I choose two, because with that they know what do they like, but I think they have to try a wide variety of food, because when you visit any other place, you cannot uh, get the dish for leftovers because that's rude. So at least you know that you don't like it, but still you are going to make the effort to eat it, because that's an educated way to respect the family that you are visiting. Okay, now in number four, teenagers should spend weekends with parents and family. I strongly agree with that, because at least Sunday, because with that they they don't get like stressed. They they visit family that you don't see time in a long time. So it's good, because besides that you feel like, oh my god, that's so boring. I bet that one day you will remember those memories and you will cherish those memories back. So enjoy your family, enjoy those moments, because you are going to cherish, you are going to treasure them. So I think number one, I strongly agree, because they are going to have good memories. Now, five, teenagers should help around the house. I strongly, very, very strongly agree, because one day